Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, we are going to be doing a reading and energy update for our beautiful collective here on YouTube. So I'm actually feeling really guided today to do a deep level auric read. Now, I'm going to start with the root chakra, and we're going to be working our way all the way up to the crown chakra, just essentially channeling into the collective aura, so to speak, and seeing what messages we can pull through here. So let's go ahead and get started today. I am starting with the Energy Oracle Cards deck, but I imagine that we will be pulling from the traditional tarot as well. So I am starting to shuffle, and while I'm shuffling, if you would like to contribute your energy in a stronger way to the reading, I do recommend liking the video and subscribing to the YouTube channel, because liking and subscribing are forms of energetic transference that do tend to allow me to pick up more easily on your energy and channel more specifically for you and your situation. Okay, so this is really interesting. The first card that we're getting here is the sacral chakra, and this seems to be connected to Goddess of the Moon and the strategy card, and also Angel of Strength here as well. Okay, so first of all, what I'm getting from these cards on the root chakra is that you are deriving a sense of empowerment at this time through your ability to stay grounded in the present moment. It's almost as though the root chakra and the sacral chakra are really exchanging a lot of energy here. So I'm getting that because of this energy exchange between the source of our groundedness, the source of our stability, and the source of our pleasure, our creativity, our sensuality, it's almost as though you are learning to ground in that creative flow state, how to be really present with that kind of flowing creative energy. And I'm hearing being present creates and opens a portal for that creative energy to flow through. But what I'm also getting from these cards, with the strategy card coming out here, is that something that your soul has been planning for a long time, something that has been part of your soul's blueprint, that you've been sensing has been part of your soul's plan here on earth, as we say, is actually coming into some kind of a physical form. It's being locked in, is kind of the wording that I'm getting here. And I'm hearing hold your ground and hold your sense of confidence with Angel of Strength in the upright position. I'm also hearing something about you being very protected in the present moment. And with that word protection, my guides seem to be using that to be more so in connection to how you are relating with other people. So you're really going to notice this divine protection, especially showing up in your relationships, in your connections, meaning people who are good for your soul, who are aligned with you, are going to be finding you, locating you, connecting more closely with you. Whereas people who may be a bit detrimental to your energy, meaning being around them may deplete you or lower your vibration, lower your energy, you're going to notice that these types of individuals seem to get bounced out of your life more strongly. And I feel as well, that's why this message of remaining confident is coming through here, because essentially what this is saying is that you can be confident to show up fully as you are, to be fully present in the moment, to be in that creative flow state energy, trusting that this divine protection is happening for you and happening around you, especially working through, again, your relationships with other people. So I want to know a bit more on this strategy card energy. So what it is that your soul has been planning on, like that deeper, higher self level, what it is that I'm hearing you've been aware of this for a long time. Subconsciously, you've felt this almost like a pull or a longing or a desire for something. Maybe it was really conscious, something that you consciously have been envisioning or desiring for a while. Maybe this has been deeply subconscious. So you've just felt this kind of vague pull in a particular direction that you've not really fully been able to understand or explain up until this point. But I keep getting this sense through these particular messages coming through here that what you've been sensing and kind of a very vague, abstract way that you've been feeling in the form of that kind of longing or that pull in your soul towards something is actually going to be revealing itself in the form of more concrete evidence in a more solid direction. You're going to be seeing more concrete manifestations around this particular thing. And I have to say, with the throat chakra card here, I feel that for many of you, whatever is being locked in or manifested in a more tangible way may be relating directly to either communication literally or opportunities that are being communicated to you in some sense. So this, I'm hearing very established. This feels like maybe someone, or maybe it's like a business opportunity, a collaboration, some kind of a potential boss or just someone. I feel like there is someone or an entity that is very established that has had its eye on you, or that you've somehow attracted this entity's attention. Again, this could be a business, this could be a person, this could be a group of people. But I feel like they hold some level of power or influence in their own right, and they've had their eye on you and desire to work with you, to connect with you, to collaborate with you in some way, and in a way that seems to potentially be very stable and very long term. I feel like this is a person or an entity that can provide a lot of structure and even kind of a form of, I wanted to say the word protection, but I think a better word is stability in your life. It almost takes something that you've been doing and enhances it or encircles it with some form of protection or grounds it in some way. So for some of you, this may be just generally related to the way that you live your life in this kind of free-flowing, sort of creative, beautiful manner. And this may be a person who wants to come in and enhance your life by helping you to balance yourself with more of this sense of structure and stability and being connected to something that has established itself in some way and therefore seems to have something to offer you. But I'm getting the word admire, like whatever this person, group of people, or entity is, they seem to have a lot of admiration for you here. And it's interesting because this particular opportunity might come in at a point where you feel as though, I'm hearing, you've exhausted all your options, or you almost feel like you're standing on your last leg or feeling a bit tired. And then suddenly this new energy seems to swoop in here and kind of reinvigorate you or infuse this new life, new passion into some aspect of your life or something that you're doing or creating. So here we have the Strength card as well. And I feel this speaks to another aspect that your soul is or has been planning for a long time. And when I say planning, I'm really talking on this much deeper, less conscious level. The plans that your soul created in this lifetime prior to incarnating here. But what I'm getting is, you've always been meant to step into this truly confident, empowered version of yourself. But in order to do that, you actually had to undergo trials by fire. I'm hearing you had to go through periods of time where you actually felt very much the opposite of that, where you felt, I'm seeing something very cyclical, like spiraling. Maybe you felt like you were running in circles or not really getting anywhere or kind of spiraling out, but you were never actually running through the same cycles. All along, it was a spiral staircase that was leading you upwards into higher levels of vibration and higher dimensions of existence. It reminds me of the image that I posted on Instagram a while ago, and it's called, well, I remember the words on it say that the ego or the mind will say that you're spiraling, but the soul will say that you're ascending or that you're elevating. And I use that imagery of a spiral that really just looks like you're running in circles when it's two-dimensional. But then this particular spiral is actually a spiral staircase if you're looking at it from a higher dimensional perspective. Whoa, I feel like there's a message in that somewhere for someone in itself, how you are almost like grappling with these two perspectives within yourself. And I feel you do have the ability to move between perspectives, which is part of how you're able to do such powerful work here on the planet, because you're able to move from more of a lower dimensional perspective to a higher dimensional perspective and vice versa. And I feel that this helps you to more clearly relay spiritual information to other people, or to somehow encourage or support other people, because you can see things not only from a higher perspective, but from potentially their lower vibrational perspective as well. Because again, you're able to shift between these different ways of seeing things. I feel like there's going to be a lot more information coming out on this in future reading videos, because this definitely feels really quantum. And this also feels deeply related to part of your soul purpose here on the planet. But I'm hearing that you are becoming someone who is holding a lot of power of influence, but you're not doing it through force. It's something that's happening very naturally. And it's because you've stepped into this state of empowerment, this state of confidence, which again is something that your soul always intended to do. And I'm getting that even from a young age, you always caught glimpses of yourself being in this really confident, free, happy, fulfilled state of being. And now it's like you are embodying everything you desired to be when you were younger. And you're realizing that those weren't just desires kind of out there in the ether, that in those moments of desiring to become that person futuristically, you were actually picking up on glimpses into futuristic timelines that already existed from a quantum perspective, where you were living as that more confident, more empowered version of yourself. But again, I'm hearing from envisionment to embodiment. I feel like you're shifting from having had these visions, these dreams, these ideas, to actually living as the embodiment of the frequency of those things, seeing yourself as well as this center of gravity in that embodiment that then attracts all of the physical, tangible manifestations of those things into your life. Now, I will say that as we're still kind of diving into this root chakra energy, it seems that a bit of a destabilizing force here is other people who seem to at times be pulling on your energy. And it seems that there are moments where you might find your root chakra becoming a bit destabilized. And this seems heavily related to how other people seem to be perceiving you, sending you energy, sending you kind of energetic information on some level that seems to overwhelm your system. So what I'm getting here very strongly with hostilities reversed and community upright, that I'm literally seeing like a fence encircled around you, but instead of a fence, literally, it's people acting as this fence of protection, which I know sounds really strange, but what I'm getting here is that it seems as though you are really being guided to prioritize your peace. And I know that we say that quite a bit on this channel, but it's more relevant now than ever. Now, I am getting the sense that there's more to this story. I feel like it's not just about stabilizing this sense of peace so that you feel grounded. I feel that it provides a foundation for something else, something that you're doing, something that you're creating. I'm hearing speaking. Maybe when your root chakra gets destabilized, one way that you notice it is it becomes more difficult to think and speak and communicate yourself clearly because of that kind of ungrounded root chakra center. But it's almost like the people you surround yourself with are acting as this fence of protection in some sense. I'm hearing your people, finding your people and allowing those physical connections and relationships in your life to act as a form of protection for you energetically to help you stay grounded. I'm almost seeing someone who has this like ring of bodyguards or something around them, but it's not really literal. It's more metaphoric here, where you seem to have people that either currently are around you or that you will soon be attracting in that have this ability to surround you with a very positive sense of community that bounces out negative energies that may otherwise have caused destabilization in your root chakra. I'm just getting the sense that you having a really strong inner circle of people seems to be really powerful and really important at this time. So again, I'm just getting the message, prioritize your peace, but it's not just about the effect that that peace brings on you, although that is, of course, so powerful and important. It's also about protecting your peace to allow yourself to be stabilized in the root chakra, which creates this energetic foundation that lays the basis for something really powerful that you seem to be creating in this world. So I know we're taking a lot of time just on the root chakra, but maybe part of why I felt guided to do this style of reading is specifically because a lot of you listening may have actually needed to particularly hear these root chakra messages. So let's go ahead and channel a bit more into specifically what it is that your peace is required for in terms of what you're creating. What is this laying a basis for? Okay, we have the Three of Wands reversed. Okay, we have the Two of Swords reversed. The Nine of Cups reversed. And the Ten of Swords. Wow, this is a really heavy spread of cards. So I feel that we're speaking to a specific dynamic, either with one person or with a group of people that may have been affecting your energy or might currently be affecting your energy, especially in the root chakra. And here we have the High Priestess card as well. And also the Page of Wands. Okay, so there's an optimistic energy over here that seems to kind of start small, but it happens as you continue following your intuition. So your intuition is acting as this powerful guide through some kind of situation or relationship where someone around you is being exposed, or this could be a group of people being exposed around you. Now, what I'm getting here is, first of all, this has been something that has really disrupted the root chakra energy for you. It's caused you to feel, and for some reason I'm seeing something about the skin. Maybe you noticed skin breakouts or things around this person or situation. Of course, I am not a medical professional or doctor, so I always recommend listening to or getting advice from a medical professional specifically with any of these physical related questions or concerns. But what I'm getting here is that I'm hearing your intuition led you backwards, meaning your intuition caused you to, I'm just hearing move back home. Now, for some of you, you may have literally geographically moved back to your hometown or moved back to a home or a place that was significant in your childhood. For others of you, I just feel as though what this means is your intuition guided you to do something that consciously looked like a regression, that looked like you were going backwards, but you weren't actually going backwards. And we're going to be getting into that. But I feel that this regression was necessary to expose, I'm just hearing some kind of dissonant energy. Now, this may have literally been lies, someone that was lying to you, or a situation that was deceitful in some way, but it doesn't have to be literal lies. I just feel like there was something disharmonious or something deceitful, and I'm hearing you couldn't see it when you were close up to it. So your intuition pulled you back by sending you back to a place where you may have felt like you were regressing, but really this was meant to give you that perspective from standing further away from this person or situation that would then allow something to be exposed about that person or situation that you couldn't see close up. And with the 9 of Cups reversed, I feel like there was a really tough pill to swallow here, as we say, because what this perspective led you to see seemed to, I'm hearing it forced you to let go of what you wanted in order to allow yourself to clear the space for receiving what you really deserve. And actually what you really desire on a soul level. Because I feel just like there was disharmony or dissonance in this person or situation, or maybe between the two of you, there was actually some kind of disharmony within you that you were not aware of. I'm hearing a cognitive dissonance, meaning what you thought you wanted out of this person or situation was either, it was wrapped up in some kind of illusion of the person that wasn't really real or tangible or showing up for you in that way. I know we're talking at a really complex level here, but I feel as though your guides were trying to show you that you can have everything that you desire on a soul level, but you have to have the courage to let go of some kind of illusion of a person or situation when you may have been really rigidly focused on that being the specific avenue through which these manifestations had to come to you. Again, this reading, it feels like it's taking place on a really high level, and only take this if it is connecting for you. But ultimately, I feel like, again, this was a really tough pill to swallow, but it was also medicine, metaphorically. It was actually healing as well. And with the 10 of Swords, ultimately it required you to completely put a close to something, to finally shut a door on something that wasn't showing up for you in the way that you needed, that you wanted, and that you really deserved. And I'm hearing that lifted or will lift the stalemate energy, that feeling of stagnancy within you, and allow you to open up to something optimistic and exciting and new with the Page of Wands. I'm hearing something that actually triggers your heart chakra, because I feel like I'm speaking to someone who was stuck in some kind of maze of confusion for so long, or dealing with this internal cognitive dissonance in a way around a person or situation that they may have really wanted to believe an illusion about, that in the process they may have forcibly kind of disconnected from their own heart space, from their own emotional experience. So it's like now you're emotionally coming back online, and I'm hearing that it's almost like your heart is cracking open and you're able to feel things. In fact, you might find yourself saying this exact phrase, or maybe you've said this recently, but I never knew I could feel like this, whether it's feeling the extremes, the highs, the lows, feeling deeply supported, feeling deeply happy, deeply in love. If you aren't yet feeling this way, I'm hearing the universe wants to show you how good it can get. It wants to show you how happy and fulfilled you can actually feel in a way that you may have not believed was possible in the past. And it's interesting because at the very bottom of the deck, we also have the Nine of Wands reversed and then the Ten of Pentacles upright. So I have to collect some cards here that flew out. But what I'm getting here is it's almost this sense that you're dealing with something that just feels almost unsolvable. I'm hearing an unsolvable problem, and you choose to just somehow drop it, to just let go of it, to just release your grip on it. And then immediately on the other side of that is the Ten of Pentacles, which is the most abundant card in the deck, which speaks to deep fulfillment, manifesting everything you desire, getting everything that you want out of a particular situation, and maybe even in a way that feels really unexpected and really sudden in the best kind of way. And again, emphasis keeps being placed. I see the number 2, the number 222, that could be significant. Also getting the letter initials L-O, C, A, and L. Those could be in someone's name. Of course, it also spells local, so maybe that applies for you in some kind of way. I got the words escape and rabbit, but I almost heard escaping the rabbit hole. So it's almost as though maybe this person or situation, there was a lot of illusion wrapped up around. You were kind of feeling like you're going down some sort of rabbit hole with, and now you've found the other side of it, or you're escaping it in some way. Now, the interesting thing is, I feel that going down that rabbit hole actually served its purpose, that you are now escaping it, but you're also exiting it alchemized, exiting it changed on this deep spiritual level in a way that actually has played this huge role in up-leveling your confidence, which, as we channeled earlier, that up level in your confidence is why you now naturally carry such a strong power of influence. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the cards here. Wow, what deep, thorough messages came out just from that one chakra center. I am going to be moving on to the sacral chakra here. So let's go ahead and shuffle the cards and get into this. But what can I channel from your sacral chakra at this time? You know, I just saw all of these gears moving. A clock might be significant to someone, or something related to time or timing. But I heard moving parts. There's something in your sacral chakra that feels as though there are a lot of different moving parts that fit together in a very mysterious way. Maybe these are different creative projects, different people that you are connecting with. And I'm hearing trying to control it makes the gears stop. So again, these moving parts seem to work together in a way that's very mysterious. But anytime you try to control that process, you freeze up the gears and freeze up that energy in the sacral chakra. And you most likely experience this as, I'm hearing, writer's block or some equivalent of that, just suddenly feeling like you're out of sync, feeling like I'm hearing, lost your touch or something like that. With the moon card in the upright position, there's something, again, very mysterious. I'm hearing we can only fully be seen under the cover of the moon. I have no idea what that means for someone, but it seems like it could have to do with, I'm hearing something you can only see in the dark. So something that you can only really fully grasp or understand when your conscious senses have a little bit less access, when you aren't so focused on the appearance of things because of that darkness, either literally or metaphorically. This is very poetic. Maybe someone's been in more of a poetic or creative state of being. I got the word ants and also the word free. So freedom seems to be a powerful theme in how you're interacting with your sacral chakra energy at this time. So can I get any information on what can only be seen in the cover of the darkness? Okay, the star card reversed. Wow. Okay. So the darkness, it might actually be a mental cloud, a mental darkness, where maybe lately you've been feeling a lot of heavy energy that seemed to come out of nowhere. And this heavy energy may have felt like a darkness in and of itself. But I'm hearing this darkness was a season or a cycle, just like the 24-hour day cycles through phases of light and dark. You do the same within your energy body, within your mind, and it serves a purpose because, again, under the cover of that darkness, in those moments of actually maybe feeling more of that heavy energy, feeling some of that hopelessness or some of that grief or sadness, I feel that within that, I see you retrieving some kind of key. What is this key? Wow, the Ace of Swords, a new idea, a breakthrough, a victory. So it's almost like through this darkness you may have been experiencing, this heaviness mentally, you are actually receiving a key that unlocks this door. And when I mentally requested for the information on what's on the other side of this door, it was almost like the Akashic records. So maybe the Akashic records have been coming up for someone, but it was this huge library full of bookshelves of information. So it seems that this key is giving you access. I'm hearing special access to unlimited levels of spiritual information that you only have access to because you've allowed yourself to be under the cover of the moon, so to speak, to really dive into some kind of shadow that was coming up for you, some kind of heavy energy that you were experiencing. And ultimately, I'm hearing this carves the way to more solidly and consistently embodying the energy of the Empress. And it's interesting because in the Empress card, she's holding some kind of scepter, but for a second I thought that was her holding this key. Interesting. And here as well, we have the Seven of Wands in the reverse position. And I'm hearing just surrender is required most at this time. So it feels as though surrendering to your emotional experience, which so much of this seems to be because this is related to the sacral chakra, which is connected to the present moment. I feel that much of what we're describing here are emotions that seem to come up for you just when you're living your life, when you're being fully present, just flowing with your life. Suddenly you'll be hit by this profound, intense emotion. And at times it might be something that you would label as negative or unwanted, but I'm hearing all emotions serve a purpose because, again, just like the day cycles through sunlight and then evening and nighttime, you seem to go through this in your own emotional, cyclical sort of energy. But every time you go into that darkness, you retrieve a key that seems to allow you to embody this free Empress, creative, kind of magical energy in a more solid, consistent way. I'm hearing trust your cycles, even the ones that your mind would label as unwanted, and really allow yourself to fully surrender into those experiences. So I'm going to go ahead and reshuffle the cards here. This has been such a beautiful reading so far. I do want to actually pull a Rumi Oracle card to sort of put a placeholder in this reading. If this has been connecting, we're going to be channeling into the rest of the chakra centers in the extended reading on Patreon, but I really feel that there was a message meant to come through to our YouTube collective here that was mostly based in the root chakra and the sacral chakra. So if you'd like to hear more on the other 5 chakra centers and what could be going on there, then you can join me on Patreon. And I always leave a link to that in the pinned comment and description box underneath these videos. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and read from Rumi, and the card that I pulled here is the Human Gift. And right as I flipped to the page, this one line stood out to me. So the line that stood out to me is, "You may finally allow your heart to break once more, to shed those old grievances and be free and fresh to live and love again. Or you may quietly realize you are human. You are light and dark, of heaven and earth. Wow, I can't believe a line from this said, you are light and dark. That is exactly what we've been channeling into here. What a perfect blend you are of all that can possibly be. You are an extraordinary, living, divine experiment in the making. And you are sacred, cherished, and loved by the great beloved. So do not fear your fear, but do doubt your doubt with compassion. Let it be and let it go. You are human after all, and your journey is beyond description. So I'm going to go ahead and close this reading here. Again, if you do feel a resonance here with the messages and you want to continue next with me to Patreon, the link to that is underneath the video. Also, if you do connect with me in a general sense, I would love for you to subscribe, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself, where I post more energy updates, information, and inspiration. Otherwise, I am wishing you all a beautiful remainder of your day and week, and I will connect with you here again in Friday's reading.